SMT Nation, we back. We've got a story out of Fierce Wireless. I'll go ahead and link it all for you. It is titled AT&T urges the FCC not to grant T-Mobile's latest 2.5 gigahertz licenses. Monica Alvin, fiercewireless.com. This is an interesting title. The sounds like some strategic, competitive hindering of sorts. Okay, all right. T-Mobile won by far the lion's share of licenses in the FCC's recent 2.5 gigahertz auction. AT&T is saying not so fast in terms of the government granting them. The auction closed in late August. It raised a total of $428 million, most of which went to T-Mobile. T-Mobile already has a very large position in the band, thanks to its acquisition of Sprint. AT&T is saying that the FCC should deny T-Mobile's long-form application or condition its grant on T-Mobile's divestiture of some mid-band spectrum to avoid harm to competition and the public interest. So if I get this correct, AT&T is basically saying they should the FCC should retroactively go back and form some kind of a spectrum screen of sort to keep T-Mobile from getting this spectrum, or maybe they're implying that they shouldn't have been allowed to get involved with C-band or DoD. I don't know. This is very it's very weird because they're basically saying go back in time and change things. Okay. I don't know if I like the sound of this. AT&T is asking the FCC to revisit that petition. The 2.5 gigahertz auction has come and gone, and T-Mobile predictably emerged as the easy winner. With this long-form application, it is poised to win 90% of the available 2.5 gigahertz licenses for $304 million, orders of magnitude below the bid levels in prior competitively neutral auctions, and perfect its long-term strategy to keep its competitors from closing the mid-band spectrum gap. AT&T told the commission in its November 7th filing, which Communications Daily previously reported on. Okay, guys, I have a problem with this. Where was AT&T at the auction for this 2.5 gigahertz? They could have bid on the spectrum. You know, they put in their application. They were there. They could have, but they didn't. And T-Mobile took advantage of that. They got whatever they wanted, basically. Verizon actually ended up getting some licenses, strangely, in some interesting places. But this just seems like kind of ridiculous. It kind of looks and sounds dumb. All right, T-Mobile has 205 megahertz of mid-band here. It says 165 non-auction 2.5, 27 in C-band, and 12 in DoD. AT&T's got 120 with 80 in the C-band plus 40 in the DoD. And then Verizon has 161 megahertz entirely of C-band. All right, so basically the difference here is they're basically saying T-Mobile's got the advantage. They got the merger, they got the Sprint spectrum. They essentially have enough spectrum for two companies, and then they've continued at every auction to get more spectrum. All right, so T-Mobile's essentially got all the spectrum they need, plus they've taken spectrum from others. Uh, in the DoD auction, you couldn't have more than 40 megahertz, so that prevented AT&T from getting more. And during C-band, the way it was positioned was there were three blocks, each with, if I remember correctly, block A was 100 megahertz, block B was 100, and then block C was 80. Right, so there were designations and separations, and like separators to keep things kind of in check. With no such things to keep T-Mobile in check for 2.5 gigahertz, maybe that's what AT&T is saying here. And then AT&T goes on to say that T-Mobile basically has a spectrum advantage for the entirety of the 5G era. Significant concerns because there's no new mid-band spectrum in the auction pipeline that could equalize the current imbalance in mid-band assets. Well, it's kind of not true. I mean, they're going to have 3.1 gigahertz soon within the next couple of years. So this isn't exactly true. It's probably true that T-Mobile's going to have the most spectrum during the 5G era, not named millimeter wave, right? So for the mid-band frequencies, they're probably right. Like I said, they have enough spectrum for two companies. And regulators could have stopped it, right? They could have said you got to divest some of this auction, some of the spectrum, but they didn't, right? And AT&T should have spoke up then, and they didn't. And AT&T should have gotten involved in these auctions, and they didn't. Nobody told them to let Verizon dominate in C-band, and nobody told them to let T-Mobile dominate in the 2.5 auction recently. AT&T kind of sounds dumb here, in my opinion. But it is true. T-Mobile likely will continue to have that spectrum advantage in midband. Policymakers, T-Mobile presents itself as a scrappy and undersourced upstart. Yeah, remember during the merger? Oh, we're a little company. We can't compete without this. We need this. It was crying and feel sorry for us and pity parties and da da da. And then into the investors, T-Mobile says we have the advantage. We have the most spectrum. We're in the power position. We're in the catbird seat. That is 100% fact. We've called that out before. T-Mobile does kind of speak to whatever audience they need to, in the way that they need to. T-Mobile has responded and said this petition is absurd. In response, they said this is a plainly calculated attempt to impede competition. Uh, I don't know about that. They're both kind of capping here, guys. The petition absurdly boils down to a claim that T-Mobile paid too little for spectrum as part of a plan to make AT&T pay too much, T-Mobile said in the November 14th filing. There's no plausible foreclosure strategy at work in an auction where the total amount of T-Mobile's winning bids is small in scale, $304 million, compared to the rivals' investment plans of $24 billion in 2022, and AT&T sat out the auction. This is facts. This is facts. AT&T looks stupid. AT&T spends $24 billion a year in, their CapEx. What are they complaining about T-Mobile spending $304 million? Again, I said it previously. If AT&T wanted to rain on T-Mobile's parade, they could have bought 2.5 gigahertz spectrum at the most recent auction, and they didn't. They had their chance, and they didn't capitalize. The quote here from T-Mobile, clearly the minor incremental screen overages resulting from the spectrum T-Mobile won at auction raised no competitive concerns. I don't think they do. The additional 2.5 gigahertz bears no impact on anything except T-Mobile customers. It does not hinder any of the competitors, the marketplace competition. It just gives T-Mobile the ability to offer a more uniform capacity layer across the country. I have a bigger problem with T-Mobile being able to get DoD. I had a bigger problem with that. I think that's a more legitimate argument, and the FCC didn't keep them out of the auction. They let them do their thing and bid as normal. Okay, so anyways, what does this boil down to? Right? Is AT&T going to be successful in this? It says here, analysts at New Street Research don't think AT&T's challenge to T-Mobile will be successful. I agree. I don't think this is going to work. This is a tactic. This is a ploy to try to just disrupt T-Mobile's, network build and network position. I don't think it's going to happen. The FCC clearly had no problem with T-Mobile aggressively bidding in all these auctions. In fact, they probably welcomed it. And yeah, this is just stupid. Odds of success in having this petition granted are very low. I would say they're damn near impossible. They are not going to retroactively institute some spectrum screen and exercise that right to do it. They were unwilling to do it at the time of the auctions. Why in the hell would they do it now? AT&T looks stupid. They look dumb. They sound even dumber. I can't believe this is real life. Like I'm shocked that AT&T really believes that this has a chance. If anything, this is a waste of energy, and B, this is sadly misguided. AT&T was just lazy. AT&T is just reaching. There's no argument to be made to support AT&T in this claim. And look, I'm a firm believer in a competitive marketplace. If you had a problem, you should have had a problem with the T-Mobile and Sprint merger. There should have been divestiture then. If you had a problem, you should have took it up at C-band or DoD, not at the 2.5 gigahertz auction. You know how stupid AT&T looks right now? They are dumb. They are really dumb. Let me know if you guys remember where that quote is from. Oh my God, this is so stupid. What do you guys think? Comment down below. Let me know if you agree or disagree with me, or if you agree or disagree with AT&T, or if you agree or disagree with T-Mobile's take. All right, remember, this is the liar sandwich. Both companies getting caught capping in this article based on their replies. But again, I think AT&T going to be unsuccessful. They don't deserve to have this honored at all. They should have took issue in the bidding process. They should have made a difference, and they should have done something then. Just my 2 cents. Comment down below. You are the voice of the people, the SMT Nation. Let your voice be heard. Like, share, and subscribe for more, and turn on the bell notifications icon to never miss an upload. Links for all things going on with the channel are down in the description. My Twitter, my Gmail for all business inquiries. Also, you can become a member on the YouTube side. Hit the join button. There's also a link in the description for that. And my Patreon page link is there if you want some other stuff that we're doing there, some exclusives, some early access stuff as well. And I'll leave you with these parting words of positivity. Every new day is an opportunity to be great. Go out there and be great. Thanks for watching, and we will see you soon on the next video. Peace.